one day. In business, sell petrol to us below 900 naira or refund our money. Ipman charges Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. On the foreign scene, Taiwan's president vows to resist annexation by China in National Day speech. And in sports, football world mourns as Greece defender George Badoch dies at 31. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder to all our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV and free to air all night comes out. Tonight, we begin by telling you Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for a concerted effort to tackle the out-of-school children crisis in the country, saying that children abandoned to the streets are a liability that the nation will one day pay for. The Vice President, who spoke at the International Conference on Girl-Child Education in Nigeria at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, organized by the Nigerian Governors Forum, noted that the dignity of the girl child defines every civilization, noting that Nigeria is bound by a duty higher than merely observing the challenges before the country. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has announced a review of its visa clearance procedures, a controversial requirement which mandated married women to submit an approval letter from their husbands as part of the visa application process, sparked widespread debates on social media. Many have criticized the policy, describing it as outdated and discriminatory. Fuel prices at Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited service stations have surged to as high as 1,030 naira from 897 in the Federal Capital Territory. Samuel Odi, who went around Abuja, reports that long queues of motorists were observed, with many hoping to buy the pricey products.
Price is a second increment in 1 month from 897 naira to 1,030 naira, representing a 14.8% increase in the cost of premium motor spirits, otherwise known as petrol. With Dangote Refinery selling its products and the Crude for Naira initiative by President Bola Tinubu, Nigerians expect a lower fuel costs, but yet again, Nigerians are slammed with a hike on petroleum products. While awaiting the adjustment of fuel meters to reflect the new price, motorists express disappointment in the present administration.
If they are selling 1,030 naira at NNPC, that means other places will be 1,500.
Except the refinery is working. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing they can do except our refinery is working. So without refinery, we can do nothing.
This government is not giving us the right thing to do. The right thing. We are just here. They are just doing what they like. How can we go to a NNPC and buy fuel 1,030 naira? As I'm talking to you now, it's 1,030 naira in their meter.
With Dangote Refinery coming into existence, Nigerians expected a slash in the price, but all they get on a monthly basis is an increment of PMS. Now, the federal government says that crude will be sold for naira starting October 1st. And in that light, the NNPC have promised that there will be a change in price. Nigerians are expecting the change should be lesser than what they used to buy, but now petrol is being sold for 1,030 naira in NNPC filling station and other filling stations selling at up to 1,200 and 1,300 naira respectively. Nigerians have complained that they've been on the queue for over 4-5 hours and yet haven't been able to get into the petroleum station to be able to buy fuel despite the increment. Nigerians have called on Mr. President to come to their aid and as well as address this, given the fact that transportation is on the high, cost of food is on the high, and hunger is in the land. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television.
Thank you, Samuel. The Nigerian military has confirmed that another notorious terrorist leader known as May Hijabi and his combatants that terrorized communities in Taraba State have been eliminated on the battlefield. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, disclosed this at the bi-weekly media briefing with defense correspondents at the defense headquarters in Abuja. Global Television's defense correspondent, Kikelamo Okere, has more.
According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, May Hijabi and his combatants who terrorized communities in Taraba State are now history, and same fate awaits several other terrorist leaders and commanders. It says during the week under review, troops neutralized 165 terrorists and arrested 238 persons.
Another notorious terrorist leader was eliminated on the battlefield during the week. He was known as May Hijabi. He and his combatants terrorized communities in Taraba State, and we have now made him history. The same fate awaits several other terrorist leaders and their commanders, as from this platform, sooner than later, we will be announcing that they've been taken off the battlefield.
It further reveals that in the South-South zone, troops arrested 35 perpetrators of oil thefts, denying them of stealing oil worth over 6 million naira, and rescued 188 victims of kidnapping.
Discovered and destroyed 58 boats involved in crude oil theft activities, 39 storage tanks, among other items that were destroyed. Also destroyed 13 cooking ovens, 13 vehicles, as well as destroyed 65 illegal refining sites in the course of the week.
General Buba affirmed that battle damage assessment reveals that several terrorists hibernating at different locations were neutralized and their logistics destroyed. The Military High Command says the service is reassessing and making necessary adjustments to ensure peace and security for all citizens across the country. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Defense correspondent Kike Lomo Okere. Kano State High Court has sentenced 27-year-old Kasim Hussein to 15 years in prison for killing Kano Road Traffic Agency officer Tijani Adamu Gambo, who was attempting to remove his vehicle's license plates. The court also imposed a fine of 500,000 naira with an additional 5-year jail term if Hussein fails to pay the fine. Presiding Judge Justice Mariam Sabo ruled that the sentences will run concurrently and commence from the date of Hussein's arrest. According to prosecution, represented by Barrister Mahdi Aliyu Abdurrahman from the Kano State Ministry of Justice, Hussein committed the culpable homicide on October 29, 2021, around 10 a.m. on Airport Road opposite Eldorado Cinema in Nasarawa local government area of the state. The House of Representatives has rejected the motion on urgent public importance seeking the intervention of the federal government in the chieftaincy tussle rocking Okbela community in Esako East local government area of Edo State. The motion was moved by a member representing Esako East, Esako West federal constituency of the state, Dekeri Anamero. Addressing the House during plenary session, Anamero lamented the loss of lives in Okbela owing to the violent reaction to the crowning of Lukman Akemokoe as the Okbelagbe of Okbela by Governor Godwin Obaseki about 2 weeks ago. The Senate has confirmed Professor Abdullahi Usman as the executive chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, nominated by President Bola Tinubu. The confirmation of Usman's nomination follows the consideration and adoption of the reports of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, chaired by Senator Abubakar Bello. Tinubu had nominated Usman for the position on August 19, 2024, through a statement released by his former special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court, which set aside the 800 billion naira budget passed by the Rivers State House of Assembly faction loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Governor Fubara had presented the 800 billion naira budget. However, the other faction loyal to Minister of the Federal Capital Territory rejected the action of pro-Fubara lawmakers, describing it as illegal. They had filed a suit before a federal high court in Abuja demanding that the act be declared null and void. Kano Development Forum KDF has condemned the murder of Alhaji Isa Daya, the district head of Kenya in Danko Wasago local government area of Kebbi State. The forum, in a statement by its public affairs officer, Abubakar Abdullahi, also condoled the family of the deceased district head, Governor of Kebbi, Nasiru Idris, and Emir of Zuru, Alhaji Sani Sami, and prayed God grant the deceased eternal rest. The forum also pledged to cooperate with the government and security agencies in their efforts to secure citizens across the state. And still talking security, Minister of State for Defense Bello Matawalle has warned bandits informants to repent or be sent back to their creator. He gave the warning during an assessment visit to Gondomi Village, Isa and Sambo Bene local government areas of Sokoto State. The minister, who was saddened by the few presence of people at the village, said the place used to be lively with a lot of business activities. He said the government is going to site a military base there. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, has embarked on an advocacy visit to innovators and inventors in Kaduna as part of efforts to promote innovation, strengthen research collaboration, and advance technology development in the region. The chairman of TED Fund National Research Fund Screening and Monitoring Committee, Professor Hayward Mofuyat, says the advocacy visits is a key initiative in the lead-up to the upcoming National Research Fair and Exhibition. Jumai Messin was there for Global Television.
The chairman, TED Fund National Research Fund Screening and Monitoring Committee, Professor Hayward Babale Mafuyat, emphasized the need to enhance cooperation between academia and industry to foster an innovative culture that would drive Nigeria's technological progress. He noted that Kaduna is home to several talented inventors whose contributions could significantly impact the nation's economy and global standing.
Most people have operated as silos, as individuals, not knowing what to do or where to do and how to synergize with who. But when we bring them together, the person who has an invention that can grow the economy needs to know what next steps to do.
Deputy Chairman, Old Panteka Market Development Association, Kaduna State, Abubakar Musa, highlighted the impact of TED Fund on financing projects, mostly building and materials, to empower the youths in Panteka Market.
We have 38,000 registered members, which mostly are within the volatile age of 25, 30 downward, and they needed the attention of the government, and of course the union is doing its very best to see that those youth are oriented positively, thereby eradicating poverty.
Chairman of the TED Fund National Research Fair Committee, Umar Bindir, highlighted the benefits of technological innovation and the role of research in solving real-world problems. He urged more young youths to engage in research and development for sustainable growth.
This effort is a trigger. It's what I call the catalyst for changing the way we do things. If you've done research on how to properly slice okra so that it is easy to dry and package, then somebody should be drying it using that technique and packaging it. Once he's packaging it, he should be able to sell it. So that is how you link that knowledge to creation of jobs, to creation of wealth, and to showcasing that Nigeria is a very powerful technology institution.
The visit also provided an opportunity for stakeholders to deliberate on the importance of research funding and how platforms like TED Fund can help bridge the gap between research and marketable technology solutions.
In a dynamic landscape of innovations and inventions, TED Fund has brought together a diverse group of stakeholders, from academics to representatives from both formal and informal institutions. Now, this collaboration aims to showcase a wide array of innovations across various sectors. For Global Television, Jumai Manson reports.
Well, thank you, Jumai. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Prime returns tonight, Nigeria announces availability of 220 acreage for oil exploration. Details of these and more after this short break. Please do stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwegbe. Thank you so very much for your time with us. Now let's turn to business. The Naira has weakened against the US dollar on October 9, 2024, closing at 1,625 Naira, 13 kobo in the official investor and exporter I&E window as crude oil futures slipped slightly to around $76 per barrel. This recent movement represents a shift in Nigeria's foreign exchange dynamics, with the Naira declining by 4.06% compared to the previous trading day's closing rate at 1,561 Naira. Market turnover in the I&E window dropped significantly, falling by 49% to $170.60 million from the $253.68 million recorded the day before. As prices of petroleum products skyrocket in Nigeria with its attendant economic implications, an oil and gas sector expert, Dr. Timothy Okon, spoke exclusively to Global Television's Sharon Ajay on some of the factors driving the market.
Dr. Okon, who is the managing partner at Tenor Energy Resources Limited, attributed the hike in the price of premium motor spirit, also called petrol, to wars in Ukraine and the Middle East.
In the Middle East, is a very important oil-producing region. So the markets feel that something may happen, and so oil prices increase to reflect that risk, the risk that a missile might hit a tanker in the Persian Gulf, and so on and so forth.
On the home front, however, he said the Dangote refinery is a game changer that must be allowed to thrive against all odds. While addressing the complaints of Nigerians regarding the recently launched Dangote refinery, Dr. Timothy Okon emphasized the need to remember that the Dangote refinery is a private initiative that needs time to thrive.
Prices. Let me also say that it is important to understand that Dangote refinery is a private refinery. It is, and he has taken how many years to bring that on? It's a refinery that is owned by a Nigerian. It's one of the largest in the world, and we expect that that refinery, which is a success story, remains a success story, because it gives Nigeria access to significant oil products, refined products.
Dr. Timothy Okon urged all Nigerians to be patient and hopeful for stability in the international market and the end of crisis in the different regions of the world. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you, Sharon Ajay. The National President of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Abubakar Shettima, has urged the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to sell premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, to its marketers at the same rate offered by Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Shettima also demanded a refund to the owners of the oil markets, which have been held by NNPC for the past 3 months. He stressed the financial strain that the prolonged delay in refunds had placed on petroleum marketers, urging the NNPC to take immediate action. The federal government has announced the commencement of zero value-added tax VAT on pharmaceutical products and medical devices in a bid to reduce drug prices in the country. In a statement signed by the head of information in the Federal Ministry of Health, Alaba Balogun, it says the executive order on harmonized implementation framework has been cleared to be gazetted. Furthermore, the ministry noted that following the completion of the process, the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigeria Customs Service can now begin implementing the zero VAT and excise duties on pharmaceutical products as well as medical devices. The federal government, through the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC), has announced the availability of 220 open acreages that are ready for exploration and investment opportunities. In the oil and gas sector, acreages mean specific tracts of land available for exploration, drilling, or production activities. They can be released or sold to companies to extract natural resources. On the foreign scene, Hurricane Milton has felled trees, torn roofs off buildings, and flooded streets, leaving residents of the Florida coast surveying a trail of destruction in the state still reeling from another massive storm just 2 weeks earlier. Hurricane Helene, which formed in late September 2024, quickly intensified as it moved across the Gulf of Mexico. It killed over 200. It became Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 140 meters per hour before making a landfall on September 27 near Perry in Florida. President William Lai has pledged to uphold Taiwan's self-governing status in his most high-profile public address since taking office earlier this year. In a thinly veiled reference to China's claim over the island, Lai said he would uphold the commitment to resist annexation or encroachment upon the country's sovereignty. At the same time, Lai promised to maintain the status quo of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and pledged to cooperate with Beijing on issues such as climate change, combating infectious diseases, and maintaining regional security. Author Han Kang has become the first South Korean to win the Nobel Prize in Literature for work characterized by the correspondence between mental and physical torments as well as historical events. Han is best known for her book, The Vegetarian, a first novel translated into English, which won the Man Booker Prize in 2016.
I felt I could question the very natural thing that we are human beings, and I wanted to stay in the difficult question of the meaning of being human.
A quick look at sports now. Manchester United's summer signee, Noussair Mazraoui, is set to miss the next 2 months due to a diagnosis of cardiac arrhythmia. The setback comes as the club grapples with their worst ever start to a Premier League season, having secured just 8 points from their opening 7 matches. Italian journalist Nicolo Schira reported that Mazraoui, a £17 million acquisition, has been diagnosed with the condition which affects the regularity of heartbeats. And that's the much we have for you tonight on News Prime, but let's take a quick look at some of our top stories. Vice President Kashif Shettima has said out-of-school children pose a grave risk to Nigeria. In business, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association has charged the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited to sell petrol to its members below 900 naira or make refunds. And finally, in sports, we told you football world has been thrown into mourning as Greece defender George Badoch has died at 31. And that's it on News Prime, and it came to you live on global television from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using the handle at Global TVNG and others, as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agumofwegwe on behalf of the entire production team here at Global Television headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. We say a big thank you to you for watching. We will see you again.